So you're skinny just like me and you want to start working out and you're wondering, where do you even start? You know, you see all these fitness models and fitness gurus talking about how to get big, how to build muscle, but you're just a little confused on where to start. Well, that's what this video is going to help you guys with. My name is Connor Irwin. I am the founder of Athletic Assault. So glad that you're here watching this video. We do other pieces of content just like this, helping you guys simplify fitness and making fitness more fun by attaching superheroes to it. So if you're into that, consider subscribing to this channel. But now let's talk about how to start if you're a skinny guy going to the gym. So first off, if you are a brand new beginner to the weight room, drop the ego at the door. This is something that we all have to do. You're not going to lift the most weight if you are walking into the weight room for the first time, and that's okay. Like, we all have to start somewhere. All of the superhero actors and actresses started somewhere. I mean, shoot, a lot of them were skinny guys just like you or me, like Chris Hemsworth, Henry Cavill, Chris Evans. Those guys were all skinny, but then built extreme muscle for their superhero roles. So it's definitely possible, but you have to start with dropping your ego at the door. You can't have an ego walking into the gym. You gotta just drop it, let it go, and get with it. And the reason that you need to drop your ego at the door is that, number one, your primary goal is to master the technique on your compound lifts. So your compound lifts are your double joint lifts, or they're multiple joints. So a single joint lift is like a barbell curl. You're only moving your elbow with a barbell curl. But with a squat, for example, you're moving your hips and your knees, and so that makes it a compound lift. Compound lifts are super important because you can add more weight and more strength to your muscles through compound lifts because you're using more muscle groups, you're recruiting more muscle groups, and so they're extremely important. So number one, our technique has to be on point with these lifts. I'll tell you a quick story. I had a ton of ego in high school. I started lifting when I was 13. I thought I was incredibly strong on the back squat. And so I walk into the gym with my brother, who is a personal trainer, who knew I had a big ego. And I was bragging about how I could lift, you know, I was 17 at the time, 18 at the time, how I could lift 350 pounds on back squat. And he starts chuckling to himself and he goes, "Hey, let me see that real quick." And I get up there and I do a little quarter squat where I literally go like this. I just, boop, drop it down, rack it, I'm done. I'm like, boom, I'm the best. And he was like, "Heck no, that is not a back squat. We have to make sure that your depth is there." And I had to go all the way back to ground zero to master that technique. So if you're a new beginner, that is primary objective number one. You need to master your technique. And that means starting with not a lot of weight, maybe just the bar. You know, if you've never back squatted before, sometimes you just need to start with body weight squats, work your way up to goblet squats, and then get a bar on your back. And that's okay. You are starting a journey. You know, if you are going to the gym, it is a long-term journey. You're not gonna be buff in a month. That's not gonna happen. You have to start this process and you have to slow it down. So drop the ego, go in there and master that technique, not lift a lot of weight, master the technique first. After you get the technique down, that's when we can start adding weight to the bar. So, like I mentioned earlier, your key compound lifts are crucial. That is your back squat, your deadlift, shoulder press, bench press, and a row or pull up, chin up, things like that. Those are critical to building your strength. And if you're a skinny guy, strength is super important. To build muscle, we have to add weight to the bar. We have to add weight to like a pull up or a chin up. We have to progress. Maybe you heard progressive overload before. That means a slow process of adding more strength or adding more weight to those lifts. And so this is crucial to building muscle, because if we build strength on a bench press, we're gonna see our chest, our shoulders, and our triceps, they're gonna grow. if we add strength, we're gonna start growing. And so after we master technique, now it's time to add weight and build strength. This is the really fun part, because then we start progressing. You know, all of a sudden we see, and if you're a beginner, you're gonna see this very quickly. You know, if you're just starting out, once you master that technique and you get that form down, you're gonna see strength gains very quickly. Now that will slow down over time as you advance in the weight room, but for the first little bit, you're gonna see that weight go on and up, up, up. You know, you're gonna start benching 135, then it's gonna be 145 and 155, but that will slow down. But as long as you're continuing to progress, you will build muscle. That is super important. So if you are new to the gym, this is one of the most important things that I can tell you if you're trying to build muscle. If you're a skinny guy trying to build muscle, this is super important. And that is that you need to be eating in a calorie surplus. So what is a calorie surplus? That is where you eat more calories than you burn. So you need to be eating over your maintenance level. So this is a critical thing, and it's something that I've struggled with for a long time, but this fall I started doing this. So I tracked my calories for a week, and I tracked it through MyFitnessPal. I realized that I was eating less than my maintenance level. So what does that mean? That means I was losing weight each week. So I wasn't gaining weight, I was losing weight. I wasn't building muscle, I was losing fat. So that was not good. So I shifted gears. I started increasing my calories little by little, not over the top. I didn't go to 5,000 calories. I went to 3,000 to 3,300 calories, and I slowly started seeing my weight go up. And I started my workout program called the Superhero Muscle Growth Program. And in that program, in the first 8 weeks of that program, I gained 7 pounds. So I was really doing it, and it all came from progressing on my key compound lifts, building up my strength, and a calorie surplus. So this is super critical if you're skinny wanting to build muscle. If you're wanting to build muscle, you need to eat in a calorie surplus. So one place that you can start with that is just take your body weight in pounds and multiply that by 18. That's usually a pretty good starting number for most people. And you can start by just tracking that, making sure that you're getting that calorie goal and seeing if you're gaining weight and if you're building muscle. Then if you're not, maybe you can increase that a little bit. So it takes about 3,500 calories to gain 1 pound. So 3,500 calories to gain 1 pound. So that means if you were in a 500 calorie surplus every day of the week, you could potentially gain 1 pound every single week. Now that does not mean 1 pound of muscle, that just means 1 pound. So the other building block of building muscle is getting your protein. So not only being in a calorie surplus, but making sure that you're getting about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So we covered a lot in this video. Let's recap real quick. There are 3 things that you need to do if you're a skinny guy trying to build muscle. 1, you need to focus on your technique, drop your ego at the door. Don't worry about lifting a lot if you're just starting out in the gym. Get that technique nailed down. Number 2, after you get that technique nailed down, then you can start adding weight to the bar. That's the fun stuff. We're gonna start building muscle, building strength, start putting those plates on, you know, it's a lot of fun. So then number 3, we need to make sure that we are in a calorie surplus and that we are getting our protein goals in there. Guys, if you need any help with this, I actually have a Superhero Muscle Growth Program that helped me gain 7 pounds in the first 8 weeks of it, and I'll put a link to that below. It is a 12-week workout program designed to help you build muscle. So please check it out. I'll put the link down below. Heroes, if you like this video, please smash that like button. I really, really appreciate that. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you in the next one. Later, heroes.